All right, here's some Monday morning training inspired by Alex Hormozi. He's talking about opening up the gym, selling memberships, and including supplements into the sale. He's not asking people if they want supplements. He is ultimately asking, what flavor do you want? You want the chocolate or the vanilla? Okay, which flavor pre-workout? Okay, you want this or that? Okay, it's the alternative clothes. You want this or this? All right, so now we're going to go ahead and incorporate that to real world scenarios, and how do we apply that to our life here when we're on appointments. We got one specifically coming up this morning that is has very limited options. Okay, we've got a scenario where a brother is taking care of his brother's estate, and the brother who's deceased or passed bought the property last year and has very, very limited equity, and there's limited market appreciation in this particular neighborhood. Okay, was a multiple offer situation. You know, this is our deal. So based off of what our lead intake team tells us, is that the seller's brother, or the the seller, the guy who's appointed to address the estate, the personal representative, he doesn't care what happens. We're just going to see this house and that's it. So it might be a little bit of a tough sale. So what we're going to go ahead and do, we're going to run with the strategy of using picture perfect scenarios. All right, now it's something that Alex Hernandez, or not Alex Hernandez, but John Hernandez is teaching us. And he says, in a perfect world, how would this plan out? How would this play out? So now in our situation, we know that the guy doesn't care. Okay, he's like, I'll just let it go back to the bank. Well, he also doesn't want to be responsible for any exposure. He doesn't want to write a check. He would be open to selling it on the open market if that's his only objection. That's what he says. Okay, so we're going to approach it like this. Mr. Seller, in a perfect world, if you weren't exposed to, the costs of selling this house, what would you do? And then you just kind of shut your mouth and listen. Okay? Another way to ask this would be, okay, Mr. Seller, let's talk about a perfect world. If you're selling this property, if you're going to walk away with a little bit of money, what would that look like to you? Let him, start leading him down the path of, what does this situation look like? If I can put some money in your pocket and you sign over the deed, would you be willing to do that? And these are questions that we just ultimately need to open the door to and see if this guy will take the bait. But picture perfect questions, we need to use these in order to see what he's willing to do.